Hey everybody, it's Zach. Welcome back to the Heroverse. And guys, we are here to talk about my most anticipated shows and movies of 2024. Guys, it is 2024, officially a new year for great movies and great TV shows. And like I said, this is going to be my listing. I somewhat have these in order of how they're going to be releasing. A lot of them aren't in order, but you guys get my drift. I'll probably like drop the dates and months that these shows and movies are going to be coming out. But without further ado, we're going to be getting into my listings of my most anticipated shows and movies of this year. Which there's about like there's not many, but these are the ones that I like am super excited for. Mind you, if even though there might not be the ones that you guys have most anticipated, or maybe I might have forgot one something that I am interested in seeing this year, these were the ones that I knew on the top of my head that I was most excited for. So keep that in mind. Okay, but without further ado, we're going to get into it with the first one being Marvel Studios Echo, which is dropping this month, January 10th, which I'm super excited for. I am so geeked for this show. This is Marvel's first TVMA show. Super excited. Moon Knight wasn't Marvel's first TVMA show, even though they did push it, even though people want to act like they didn't. They did, but this is that level that we've been waiting for, that Netflix, level, that gritty, that street level gritty show that we've been waiting for, quite honestly. And of course, a lot of people had questions in their head saying, well, will this, like, oh, if Echo is TVMA and Daredevil Born Again isn't going to be TVMA, I'm going to be upset. That's ridiculous. If anybody has heard, because as we all know, we have not got any confirmation. At least we've gotten a confirmation now, but at the beginning we didn't get any confirmation. Was Daredevil Born Again going to be TVMA? Even though a lot of us already assumed it was going to be, me included, I assumed that it was going to be TVMA. I wasn't questioning if they were going to make it TVMA or not, but there was a lot of people out there that saw that Echo was TVMA and were worried that, oh my god, the Daredevil Born Again better be TVMA or I'm out. Vincent D'Onofrio confirmed at GalaxyCon, because I met, I saw, Charlie Cox and I met him, but I also saw Vincent D'Onofrio at GalaxyCon. They were both at GalaxyCon when I went. I was in their panel room and they did mention, because they couldn't say much, but they said, if you did you guys see the Echo trailer? Well, you have nothing to worry about, because that's kind of an idea of where our show is going. And pretty much him confirming at the time where they didn't confirm if Daredevil Born Again was going to be TVMA. That was his way of saying, if you've seen Echo, then that's my answer, that Daredevil Born Again will be TVMA, and you guys have nothing to worry about if it's going to be gritty and dark and violent, because it will be. So I'm really excited for the show. I'm excited to see the character Echo, pick up right where we left off, of course, in Hawkeye, and kind of see her story continue and get to learn a little bit more about Maya Lopez. Like I said, I'm super excited to learn more about Echo. I thought she was one of the standout characters of the Hawkeye series. Besides Kate, I would say she was right there. I would say even a little bit more than Yelena. Like, I like Yelena, but I'm not a huge fan of her. I kind of found Echo a little bit more interesting, in my personal opinion, because I think there's a little bit more of the grasp there, and I kind of knew what they were building up. Of course, with our first appearance, Kingpin's first appearance in the MCU, I kind of knew what they were building up to. With, of course, the rumors at the time of Charlie Cox reprising his role as Matt Murdock in Daredevil in No Way Home. So I kind of knew what we were doing here. So the moment I saw Echo, and I knew Echo's kind of involvement with Matt Murdock and Daredevil, I knew that we were building up something here, which I was super excited about. And I wanted to learn more about Maya, especially at the end of Hawkeye, when, of course, she shot Kingpin in the eye, and he has the eye patch in the show. So, and at this point, she knows that her work is not yet done, and she wants to get full on revenge at this point and take out Kingpin. I think in her show, that's the goal that she's like, that's what she's going after. I think she at least that's what I think, is that she thought she killed him, but she finds out that she didn't kill him. So she's gonna try to fully kill him in the show. Not quite sure, but I think Daredevil has something to say about that, because, as you know, Daredevil will put Kingpin behind bars, but of course his role is he won't kill Kingpin. So I think he's gonna stand in the way of that. Quick Since we're on the topic of Echo, of course, today some asshole, pardon my language, leaked the fight sequence between Echo and Daredevil. That's up as we speak. When you see this video, it's up on Twitter. I don't know if Marvel's going to be able to take it down because so many people are reposting it and retweeting it, and there's a lot of people already posting it on TikTok. I haven't seen it. I'm all I'm gonna say to you guys is that we're 8 days out from the premiere of the show. Hell, they're releasing all 5 episodes. You don't even have to wait that much longer. Like I said, we're 8 days out from the release of Echo, and like I said, they're dropping all 5 episodes. It's worth the wait. Do not cave in and appeal. Or yeah, I guess not even appeal, but like yeah, like don't even like give any notion to the people that released this video. Don't retweet this. Don't watch it because it's showing the people that leaked this footage that this is okay. So don't watch it. Like I said, you know what I mean, it's not worth it. This is something we also want to see being built up throughout the show, where that way it'll feel like it's earned to see Daredevil fight Echo. You know what I mean? We want to see where in the story why that happens, or you know what I mean, and where Echo is in the as where her character development is in the story, where that's gonna happen, and maybe that will like go into a bigger story of like maybe Spider-Man No Way Home, or you know uh Daredevil Born Again. So like I said, do not watch it. It's going to be worth the wait. I know it's hard. We've all been wanting to see that fight. We're all excited for that fight. And like I said, a lot of people, there's rumors out there that Daredevil's only going to be in one episode, and that's the episode he's going to be in that fight sequence. That's the only time we're going to see him. I'm okay with that. I think we all also have to go in with the notion this is Echo's show, not Daredevil's show. You know what I mean? It's really awesome that Echo, her character, she's so tied into Kingpin, of course, and that in Kingpin is really tied into Daredevil. It's kind of like they're all connected, so we get to have the benefit of her being connected to Kingpin and Kingpin being connected to Daredevil, that we get to see Daredevil in the show and we get to see them fight. But we have to remember it is her show. We are getting a Daredevil Born Again show, so remember we are getting a show. So don't get angry if we're only going to see Daredevil once in this show. It's going to be worth it. It's going to be cool. But at the end of the day, it is Echo's show, and I'm excited to see what her character arc is going to be. But that's enough on Echo. Super super excited. January 10th can't come soon enough. It can't come soon enough. Literally. All right. Now we're going to be going on to Avatar: The Last Airbender Netflix live action series. Guys, I'm excited for this. This is my childhood. If anybody knows me, you guys know how excited I am for the show. I grew up with Avatar: The Last Airbender. I remember watching it on Nickelodeon all the time when I was younger. I remember at one point I shaved my head. I asked my mom to put a blue arrow on my head, and I remember, I mean, how we all remember going into a swimming pool, moving our hands back and forth like we were water bending, or when we were in the shower, all of us did it where we would like have let the water roll down our hands, and it almost looks like we're like water bending. We've all done it. We've all also, unscrewed brooms and pretended they were Aang's bow staff. At least I did. But all in all, super, super excited for this show. I've always wanted a live action Avatar, and we all know how M. Night Shyamalan's live action Avatar went. I think we're all a little bit scarred from that with the whole Ung when his name is Aang. So we're all a little bit scarred from that. And of course, the whitewashing of the cast, and also just 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 all around just the opposite of what Avatar is. And I'm excited to see that actually, so far from what I've been seeing from the still images from the first trailer we got for the series, it looks amazing. I think we are in the era of adaptations, whether it be book or whether it be anime or whether it be cartoons going into live action. I think we are in the era where they actually work. Of course, off the backs of Netflix with One Piece. I thought the One Piece live action anime series was actually fire. So I'm actually really not worried for this series. From the still images and from that first teaser, it is not really worrying me. Will this show have that magic, and will this show, really use the source material, but also giving us new stuff that they're going to be adding in, of course, because it's give and take. When you're making a live action movie or show off of a book or off of off of a cartoon or anime or so forth. It's give and take where you will get that source material, but also they will add in some new things, which I am okay with. I don't want a carbon copy of what the cartoon is. I want something that's also that pays respect and you know what I mean of the fans and also the source material. But I also want something that's new and fresh, that of something that I of something that original that I loved or that I still love. So I'm just super excited for this. I think the cast is spot on. I think the costume designs are spot on. I think the vibe is spot on. I think the set design is insane. I think the CGI looks great. They really haven't shown me anything that really makes me feel like okay that this is not going to work. It's just going to be another M Night Shyamalan. The only thing that kind of, and I think we're all in agreement with this, that kind of makes us a little bit worrisome is the fact that the original creators of the Avatar show, I can't remember their names on the top of my head, but you can drop them down in the comments section below. Um, they left. They had a disagreement with that with the people over at Netflix about where they wanted the show to go or where I think or like I guess yeah really essentially I think where they wanted the show to go and they left. But at the same time we weren't there, so there could be things that got that kind of got released by these scoopers and things, but we weren't in the room. We don't know what really went down. All in all, I think we just need to take a step back and actually just, judge what we've been seeing because that's the only thing we can judge. The only thing that's actually, judgeable is the still images and the first teaser we got. Of course, we're going to get more trailers as we get closer to the show's release, which of course the show's releasing, I want to say February, I think it's like February 12th. I could be wrong. I actually have it pulled up right here. Avatar is actually going to be releasing February 22nd, which is a Thursday on February 22nd. So that's really close. That's essentially right around the corner. We'll be in February before we know it. And the thing that really set me to say, okay, I think the series is going to be perfect is this image right down below where you see Aang, bending. It looks like he's doing something with air. We see Katara. She looks like she's using something with. She's about to like. Of course, the CGI isn't in there yet, but she's like water bending right now, and Sokka's getting ready to throw the boomerang. This is the cartoon. And it puts a smile on my face. This was the image I was like, okay, and this just released where I was like, okay, I have full faith that this is gonna work. Full faith. Again, there's people out there that like you can't make everybody happy, but this is as close as we're gonna get. This is damn near perfect, if not perfect. So I'm excited for this. Come February 22nd, it's gonna be a blast. Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments below. But we're gonna go to the next show on the list. I think it's a show. Yeah, I think it is a show, or it might be a movie. Okay, movie. Next on my list, of course, is Deadpool 3. I think you all know how excited I am for Deadpool 3. If you've been here part of the channel before, even if you haven't, you guys know I'm a big Marvel fan. I'm a Marvel stan. I love Marvel. I don't give a shit what anybody says. I'm a big Marvel fan. So, already off the bat, love Deadpool 1. Ryan Reynolds killed it. Deadpool 2, initially, I skipped my prom to go see Deadpool 2. Hated Deadpool 2. I recently watched Deadpool 2, I want to say a year ago. I think it was last year. I think it was last year. I love Deadpool 2 now. I love it. And I kind of knew the idea of when I heard that, oh, there's going to be a Deadpool 3 when we know that Disney got the rights to Fox. And of course, Fox, Fox had the rights to Deadpool. I knew at that point at the end of how they kind of already set it up at the end of Deadpool 2 with Cable and kind of, Wade getting Cable's time travel device. I said this is a perfect way for them to kind of like bring in Deadpool because he has like the time travel device that kind of looks like the device that Tony had, that all the Avengers had in Endgame to do their time heist. So I was like, this fits so perfectly. If Disney ever gets the rights back to Deadpool, this would work perfectly. Little did we know, Disney got the rights back, bought Fox, got the rights back to the X-Men and Deadpool. and they essentially are doing a time travel multiversal Deadpool 3 movie. And we heard, of course, we heard rumors that did eventually get confirmed that Owen Wilson, aka Mobius from Loki, is going to be in it, and he's going to be pretty much, trying to keep Wade in line, because Wade's going to be jumping through all throughout the multiverse, gathering up people and doing things and making mayhem for the TVA. And essentially, Mobius is going to try to stop him from doing things and all that. And of course, this is like a buddy cop with Wolverine, because we did hear from that promotional video from Ryan Reynolds asking Hugh Jackman to return as Wolverine for one last time. And Hugh Jackman confirmed in that video he is returning one last time to play the character Wolverine. And of course, we've had set photos. I'm not going to show you guys the set photos here, because I can tell you right now, if I put up the set photos, my video will probably be taken down, because I think still to this day, especially after Ryan Reynolds made that post saying, okay, like, as we're just excited as you guys are, you know what I mean, that we're making this movie, but, we don't want to, we live in the era, it's as it is, where people want to spoil things, and we want to make things, actually not just on a sound stage. We actually want to use, like, real sets and real locations, but that's just the downside of, like I said, you know what I mean, he said, of paparazzi and people wanting to get shots of things. He's like, I know you guys are excited, but make sure to not look at those photos, because we want you guys just to be excited as we are, that that we get to make this stuff for you guys. So you know what I mean, it's like, I really think if I put up any of those photos, my video will be taken down, but you guys kind of get the drift of what those photos are. There was one where they're fighting on this beach, and it has the Fox logo in the back. I could tell you what they are, because I don't think I'll get copyright for that. There was one where Wolverine and Deadpool are also fighting Sabretooth, which was really cool. And it's the Sabretooth from X-Men 1, which I thought was really, really cool. And of course, there's some other cool things, Easter eggs. Mickey Mouse is in the background of One Shot holding a bag of money, and there's a Disney logo. There's a whole bunch of like kind of like Easter eggs, kind of like little gags and things. There's just a whole bunch of fun stuff going on with this movie, and I'm super excited, because this is gonna, of course, bring Wade over to the MC, like over into our 616, because it's a debate if we're 616 or Earth 9999, whatever, but we're 616. So he's gonna bring them over. At the end of the movie is that Wade and of course Hugh Jackman's Wolverine will come into our main timeline, of course, until of course, the events of Secret Wars, and probably Kang Dynasty, and then Secret Wars, and then of course, for all we know, Hugh Jackman's Wolverine might die there, or he'll go back to his universe. I don't know what's gonna happen. I just know that he's not gonna be our main Wolverine. He's only gonna be here once. But super excited for this movie. I think it's gonna be a blast. And this movie actually does come out this July. I thought it was coming out in May, but because I could have swore that Captain America, I think it was called Captain America. It was called Brave. Yeah, it's called Brave. Yeah, Brave New World. Yeah, right. I always forget the. Yeah, I think it's called Captain America: Brave New World. Is it Captain America? Yeah, Brave New World. Yes, since Brave New World got pushed back to next year, and Brave New World was, I think, it's supposed to come out in May. I thought Deadpool was like in replacement, but no. I think initially it was going to be in May, but of course, with all the strike stuff, and they couldn't get back to filming in time, they had to push it back to July. So it's going to be in July, and actually the date is, I think it's July 22nd. No, July 26th of this year. So super, super excited for Deadpool 3. I think it's going to be a blast. I think it's going to be a fun time, and I think it's going to be one of the Marvel movies that's going to make a lot of money. I think a lot of fans are going to agree that this movie's going to be amazing, and it's R. So that's another thing people were worried about, which I don't know why people worried about that, because I knew Marvel was never going to make Deadpool and not an R film. So super excited for that. Like I said, July 26th. Can't wait. All right, let's go on to the next project, and it is Joker. I don't know how to say that kind of flora. Yeah, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that. But it's Joker 2, essentially. Joker 2, super, super excited. You guys know I love Joker 1. Joker 1 is a masterpiece by Todd Phillips. Todd Phillips did not miss in that movie. I know a lot of people out here will say it's literally Taxi Driver. It's just a copy of Taxi Driver. Um, I'm I see the, kind of them paying respects to Taxi Driver, but I don't think that this is a carbon copy of Taxi Driver. So all in all, love Joker 1. I think it's a masterpiece. I think the cinematography says it, you know what I mean, says it all. I mean, the cinematography in Joker 1 is absolutely outstanding. It looks so beautiful. It looks so good. I was just in awe when I sat through this film. I had so many emotions through this movie, through Joker 1. And I just, at the end of Joker 1, where he's like standing on the car and uses, his blood to make the smile, and everybody's cheering for him, I knew, oh my God, the second movie is going to be insane, especially at the end of the first movie where it's like, was it all in his head? Did this actually happen? It's like the question we have to ask ourselves. And it just made me like, oh my God, like I just wanted a second Joker. So when I heard they were doing Joker 2, I was really, really excited. Now, the one downside I am still a little bit nervous about is that this is going to be a musical, and Lady Gaga is going to be playing Harley Quinn, which I'm still a little bit iffy on. I think she will kill it. But I'm a little bit iffy on the musical aspect because essentially Joker 2 is going to be a musical. A little bit nervous about that, but I think if anybody could do it, Todd Phillips can do it on balancing the musical aspect and probably the kind of the scenes in their head, maybe in Arthur's head, or maybe in Harley's head. It's like the musical sequences of like, well, what's real, what's not. They could play with that very well. So I'm of like, showing their kind of chaotic side of how they are thinking. I think that'd be really, really cool if they play with it well. I think it will be used correctly. So that's why I'm saying I'm not too worried about it, because Todd Phillips is the GOAT and he killed it with the first movie. I think Joaquin wouldn't have signed on if he didn't see that this movie would be just as good, if not better, than the first movie. So I'm not too worried about it at the end of the day. The one bottom image right here with Harley and also, Joker, that's actually new. That came out I think it came out like at towards the end of last year of 2023. So that's fairly new. But I'm super excited for this movie. And this movie actually does come out I think it's October 16th, if I'm correct. Let me look. It is, yeah, October 4th of 2024. Like I said, these dates might change. I don't think anything is permanent. Especially Joker. I think that is a permanent date. I think a lot of these might be permanent, but like I said, nowadays you never know. So don't like for sure think that these are the dates that these all are coming out, because you never know in Hollywood if these dates will change. So you know what I mean. It's just, don't be set on these dates because they could change. Like I said, super, super excited for Joker 2. I think it's gonna be really amazing. Now the last one that I'm really, really excited for is the Fallout Amazon Prime series, based on the game series Fallout. I don't know much about Fallout, but my brother Nick is a huge Fallout fan. And I remember watching him build his Pip-Boy. I remember watching him play the games. I remember just, me and him kind of having, me connecting with my brother about, oh, when the 76 trailer came out and they were playing Country Road, or their rendition of Country Road over the 76 trailer. I remember me and him just listening to that and just saying like, oh my God, the game looks so good. Oh, this fits it so well, the music. And that's definitely the staple of the Fallout series, is the music. And that's something I'm really excited for. When I saw the first images of the show, I was so geeked. I was like, I cannot wait for the show. This show is going to be awesome. And like I said, we are in the era where, from game to live action adaptations, or from, cartoons to live action adaptations, we are living in the era where they've just been so good. And this is coming off the backs of The Last of Us, kind of, really, because, or not on the backs, because or this is the competition, you could say, to The Last of Us, HBO's The Last of Us. So, and in my personal opinion, I think this is going to be better. I know people are probably gonna be like, well, what the hell are you talking about? Like, HBO Max's The Last of Us, it was amazing. I definitely think it was amazing, but I shit you not, I'm telling you right now, this is gonna blow this out of the water. I'm telling you that already. Because they were so, mind you, they were so dependent on the live, like, to make the live action Last of Us show, on really, because it was a linear story. With the Fallout games, you don't have to copy and paste. You could do your own thing with you know what I mean, taking some things from other elements of each game if you really really wanted to. So all in all, they don't really. This is kind of a new template for them for the Fallout series, but adding in things and key elements from the games that the fans love. So they actually have an upper hand, Amazon Prime, to kind of bring in new fans, but also bring in the old fans. I mean, already they're bringing in a lot of the old fans just on the aesthetic of the show is what represents the game series. So all in all, I think that this was actually they have the upper hand because they don't have to follow a linear story to what the Last of Us game is. Like they had to follow a lot, you know, in the Last of Us show from what the game is. They had to follow a lot, but also adding in new elements, which was very very dicey on because that's one game that is that one that's also one game fan base that you really got to be very very careful with on because that's a huge game. The the Last of Us series game, like that's a huge game. That was a big gamble on if that show would even work, but it did. But like I said, that's but they had to really like go word for word almost in that live action show. You know what I mean? For it to even feel like a faithful live action adaptation of the game. Now here, like I said, they can pick and choose from different Fallout games on what they really want to do. How we are getting introduced to a new vault, which if I'm correct, this is Vault 33. This is a new vault from what I'm hearing. It's definitely not a vault I think we've even heard about before or we've even seen before. I know that this is a new vault, of course, with the new character. Her name is Lucy. Super super excited. Played by I think her name is I don't want to get her name wrong either, so I'm gonna look it up. It's Isabel, yeah, Isabella Purnell. I think that's her name. I just want to make sure I'm correct on that. Which might I don't know why, but like my phone is like loading. It's like having it struggling right now with the connection, which I don't know why I'm not on the Wi-Fi. That could be why. All right, so her name is yes Ella Purnell, which I'm a huge fan of Ella Purnell. Sometimes I forget her name, which I really really feel bad about. But Ella Purnell, I know her from Kick Ass. I know her of course from Army of the Dead, which was Netflix's Army of the Dead. She played Dave Bautista's daughter. She kills it, and I just think she's great. I think she's gonna kill this role. It's from her perspective of her leaving her vault to go out to go help her vault out in the world. And essentially like I think this takes place a couple years after the bombs drop, and essentially she is this is her first time up on the surface after all those years. So it's essentially she's trying to help her vault out, and we kind of get to see it from her perspective, a vault dweller, kind of out now, and seeing how the world is radioactive or you know abyss essentially, so wasteland. So I'm super excited. This looks really really awesome. And like I said, I started playing Fallout 4. It's actually very hard for me to play. My brother has to help me like beat one segment of the game, but I'm just super excited. You know what I mean? That's one of the things is that this is how you know it's gonna work. Is that I don't really know much about the game, but I'm invested by what the trailers have shown me, and that's how you do it. You know what I mean? It's like that you could get the people that aren't even that don't even know about the game or haven't even like played the game. You they want to watch your show. So I just think this is a dub, and I'm just super super excited for this show. And this, like I said, this show comes out. Like I said, it comes out when it comes out Friday, April 12th. So yeah, this is like I said, this is gonna be coming out pretty soon, and I'm just excited. We have some great shows, great movies, and like I said, that is my listing. That was the last listing I had for all the shows and movies that are my most anticipated shows and movies of 2024. Let me know down in the comments below, like what are your most anticipated shows and movies of 2024? I'm really curious. Are any of them ones that I've mentioned? Let me know. Or maybe you have a total different listing of shows and movies that are your most anticipated of 2024. Definitely let me know down in the comments below. Let me know your excitement for all these shows and movies if they are on your most anticipated list. Not only that, if you are new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, put those notifications, and like this video. That would be much appreciated. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. We are right there, like essentially like I want to say we're at 800 and something, almost a 900 subscribers. We're really making our way to 1,000 subscribers, so it would just mean the world if you guys could subscribe, put in the notifications, and like this video. Also, what's going on over on the Patreon right now is that we are soon going to be finishing Percy Jackson. We're still in the middle of Percy Jackson. I'm going to say episode, I think it's 5 or 6. I want to say it's episode, yeah, 1, 2, 3. I think 3 was last week. So episode, I think 4 is tomorrow of Percy Jackson and the Olympians, and there are 8 or 9 episodes total. So we are still in the middle of Percy Jackson and the Olympians, and then soon we are going to be revisiting Avatar: The Last Airbender, and we're going to be I'm going to be rewatching books 1, 2, and 3. Of course, for me because I've watched the show before. But if you haven't watched the cartoon Avatar: The Last Airbender series, definitely make sure to join me over on my Patreon because we're going to be starting that soon, and it's kind of like a recap for me, but also a recap for a lot of you guys that may have watched it. And maybe if you're new and you haven't watched the the Avatar: The Last Airbender cartoon, this would be your first time watching it. But this is kind of like a refresher to get everybody ready for the live action come this February. So make sure to stay tuned for that. It's only $5 a month over on my Patreon. It's going to be in the description down below in my link tree along with my other socials. But like I said, guys, that was the video. I hope everybody has a great day, a safe day, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.